Hi guys, I'm here at Barnes & Noble. I'm going to go in and look at some books and wanted to bring you guys with me. Look at books, just show some things about publishing books, and we'll see what happens. I've never done this before. I've never filmed in a store before, so we'll see what happens. I chose a Barnes & Noble for a couple reasons. One, it's the closest bookstore to where I live. It's larger, so I can hopefully speak inside of it without bothering people. It's easier in this one to social distance because of the spaces inside. And also I worked at a Barnes & Noble, so I know the layout and I know how they organize the books and everything. So I think we're going to focus today, I hope, on self-help / memoir, because I know a lot of people are confused about the difference between self-help and memoir. So I looked up online before getting here, and I'm going to look for some books that are supposed to be here in stock. I did look for Kathy Heller's book, but it's not in stock here. But Gina DeVee's The Audacity to Be Queen is. So is Creative Calling by Jarvis. And then Jim Kwik's book Limitless. So we're going to see if we can find them. I don't think they're all in the same category. So the reason I'm doing this is to show you why you want to think about what your book is about, because you want to also think about what other books are like the book you're writing. No book is unique and the first time anybody's ever done it. You can do that, but the market wants books that people are familiar with, and bookstore buyers and even readers want to know what book your book is like. So what we generally say in publishing and in retail is what other books is going to be around your book on the bookshelf. So I believe Gina's should be under self-help. I know I just finished reading it, she uses a lot of her own stories. So it's kind of memoir, but it's mostly self-help. So that should be where we find it. Jim Kwik's will also be in self-help. I'm not sure where Jarvis's is because it's about creativity, so it might be in an artistic place, but it's probably in self-help. So that's not the same as memoir, so hopefully we can look inside and see that, and maybe look at some other things that are kind of publishing geek things that I look at when I look at books. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I found Jim Kwik's book here, Limitless, and it's actually a pretty good size. I had not seen the book in person. It's a 6x9. It's a hardcover. It's got a good page count. I'm guessing about 250 pages. Let's see. Maybe closer to 300. Okay, 318 pages. So it's a very good size. Great cover. You notice the cover is embossed, which is nice and has a spot gloss varnish. So that's not something that you can do in a print on demand. That's definitely offset printing. I want to show the ISBN box because that's important when you are doing your own publishing. Interestingly, there's a lot of good testimonials here, which is always a good thing to have on a book. You have his bio in the back. That's interesting. That's not cheap to print on the end papers like this. So, oh yeah, see, that's very nice and costs more money to print. Then you've got the description here on the flap and the price. And I just want to also show lots more testimonials in here. Wow, a ton of testimonials. That's helping it to sell. Hay House is the publisher. So Hay House started by Louise Hay, and they have become a major publisher, especially of self-help books. And then a good copyright page with a lot of good information on it, but it's not fancy. So again, I love the cream color of the paper. The layout of the text is good. You have good, easy to read. But there is a lot of design in here with these little call-outs at the beginning of the chapters. Actually, that's in the middle of a chapter. There it is at the beginning. So a lot of design has gone into this book. And the price, $26.99, is pretty high for a hardcover, actually, though they have gone up in recent years. And Hay House is going to be a little more expensive than, say, Random House or Putnam. So one copy here in Personal Growth. So when you look at what's around it, I don't mean exactly right next to it, because these are organized by author, okay, by last name, but just overall what is here. So you know, books on being calm, getting your stuff together. You are here. That's cool because I do those you are here circles on my Instagram. So that's interesting. I'll have to look at that. Flatiron Books. They're one of the big publishers. Oh, here's a favorite. Jen Sincero is here. Okay. So these are the kinds of books here in the self-help area. So here's something I want to show looking at publishers. So most of these are big publishers. They're under Crown or Penguin or Random House. Most of these, Harper, Convergent, Workman. Workman is not under the New York publishers. They're out in California. They do a lot of creative. Their books are a little bit more design heavy. So Workman is a fun publisher. We've got Penguin here. Interesting. Debbie Maycomer, a fiction author, has a journal in the self-help section. So see, you can do different genres. New Harbinger is actually not a New York publisher. They do mental health books, but they are branching out and they've gotten good coverage in Barnes & Noble, and they actually have done some, see, it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, so they've done some partnerships with Barnes & Noble to print with them, and that helps them get in the store. But I wanted to point out here is a self-published book, which first of all is a surprise that it's here. It's very thin. It does have an ISBN, so I'm guessing somebody ordered this book, didn't buy it, and it got shelved, or else somebody just left it here. But this is weird to see it here. But see the difference between this and everything else, and this thing is probably like 10 pages. See? Oh, it's not even got page numbers. So definitely you don't want to do this. Please don't do this if you're publishing a book. So anyway, some more. But I just wanted to point that out. When you look at all these other books and what you are, you know, what you want your book to be like. So this one is a big tart. This looks like it's from, okay, it's Penguin Random House, but it's kind of an ugly cover, I think. I mean, it does stand out, but it looks almost not quite to the same level as most of these others. So anyway, just a little look at publishers. Okay, let's go find Gina DeVee. All right, here's Gina's book. This is really good. She's got Face Out, which is a nice plus in a bookstore. You want your covers face out. As you notice, the others, when we're looking at the spines, it's harder to read the book and find it. It doesn't catch your eye. Space Out does get your eye. I'm guessing that this was paid for. The publisher paid for Space Out, possibly, but not always. Sometimes it's just how the books are shelved, and if you have enough, but you got to have multiples. So look at Power of Habit. Multiples help you have Space Out on a shelf. So that takes a lot of pitching, but Gina is definitely getting a lot of attention, so her book is here. And her book is Hachette, so that's one of the biggies. All right, so we've got a lot of others here. Now this is probably not a big publisher, but look what's near her is Creativity. Okay, I don't like having to go so far to find out who the publisher is, so this is telling me it's not a big publisher and it's not Workman. 6th and Spring Books. So this is a small publisher, but they can do this kind of specialty stuff with the colors and things. I sure hope this music isn't so loud. So I just want to point out one more thing. I looked at the price of Gina's book, and it is $27, so hardcovers have gone up, and it's around 300 pages too, I think. Yeah, it's the same page count as Limitless, but it's a smaller trim size. So if we look, here, so Jem's book is 6x9, Gina's looks like it's a 5x8 possibly, or 5x8.5. So those are some tricks that publishers use to make sure you're getting value for your book. You don't want to pay $27 for a book that's 200 pages long. So they just made it a little bit smaller. The trim size is, the layout is good inside. It's not quite as designed, but there is a little color as Jem's. but it reads really nicely and the layout's good. Also, if we look at our end sheets here, they're mostly color, though they did print because it doesn't have a book jacket. It's a hard case, or case bound is the technical term. You can hear me, but I found Chase's book, Creative Calling, right here. It's actually in business, so I'm right near the coffee shop, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. This is also by Harper, and is also, it's $29, $28.99. It is well designed, and I know I heard Chase talking about how they, or I saw him on Instagram talking about how they, he had to push for them to do something unique with the cover, which is this little flappy thing. So he's got a case bound, and then they do this half flap, which I can see the publisher wouldn't like that because that's going to get torn up. You can see it's already bent. It's going to come off probably. I think if I owned the book, I might not like it either, but you know, it's different. It's all about creativity, so they wanted to be creative. And then this writing on the end flaps is new. Lots of, he's got some good testimonials, not as many as Kwik. And then he's got some good design on the inside as well, in how it's laid out. So this one is also around 300 and something, 294. So interesting, but it's a business book. So people in business books will pay a little more than people buying self-help books. So that might have been why, because they had to cover the cost of the printing. So anyway, what else is around it? Other business books, Free to Focus, Master of None, a book on hustling, Radical Alignment. So anyway, very interesting. Okay, so that was our trip to Barnes & Noble today. We looked at Jim Kwik's book, Gina DeVee's book, and Chase Jarvis's books, and they are all in the $27, $29 price point, all hardcover, all around 300, over 300 pages. I think Chase's was just under 300. So, and interestingly, not all in self-help. I thought Chase's would be in art, but it was in business. And I hope you could hear. I need to get a microphone if I'm going to do this some more, because there was a lot of music, and I might not even be able to do this because if there's too much music, I don't know if I can post those videos. I don't want to copyright, you know, I don't want to infringe on anybody's copyright for the music, but and there were people talking near me. I don't know if you could hear that, but anyway, just to look at some things that that you want to be aware of if you want to publish a book too. What makes a book a quality book and what not to do. We saw a good example of what not to do. I don't think most people are going to do that, but I mean, you can. Somebody did that and printed it and is sharing that information. It can be done. There's all levels of quality and length of book, but just for the readers, you know, to help the reader, it's helpful to have page numbers. So when you're going to publish a book, if you're going to do it yourself, definitely look at other books and see what they have inside of them. And not all programs will help you with that. Some of that was obviously a DIY, and was probably a PDF at one point that was made into a book. But I don't want to harp on the self-published book. Just anyway, that was our day at Barnes & Noble, and we'll do this again and check out some memoirs, because we only have a few minutes. We have a time limit, so we can't do this all day. All right, see y'all next time. Bye.